I'm a divorce-pilled, 52-year-old pick-me baddie with Rizz. I'm the proud mama bear of a 413-month-old baby girl and 2 beautiful cats. I throw my garbage out the window of my Peterbilt to help fill the soil with microplastics. When the highway doesn't have enough lanes, instead of waiting for Sleepy Joe to add more like a loser, I make my own. An independent American woman relies on nobody. Every year I make a pilgrimage to Reno to see America's most important monument, the Walgreens built into a highway overpass. When my ex-husband calls, I pick up the phone, but only to remind him that driving big hoss comes before anything else.
Debra, please, take me back. I miss you so much, baby.
Shut up, Aaron. I'm busy getting that bag and chasing clout on TikTok like a real patriot.
Debra, please, think of the lanes. I'm begging you, baby. At least let me talk to Debra Junior.
Go home, Aaron. You're old news now. You should have thought of that before you left the first time. She was heartbroken. How could you do that to someone so young?
She was 26 years old when we broke up, Debra.
Exactly. She was still a baby.
I've changed. I'm different now. I promise. We can be Lane Core King and Queen together and usher in a new golden age of lanes.
Oh, Aaron.
Yes, Debra, what is it?
I think it's best if you pay attention to the road.
So at last, Lane Man is free and no longer needs to be anywhere.
This is the way you wanted it to be, isn't it, Lane Man? Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. In this business, the baddest bitch always wins, because real Americans just don't quit. My bestie rides shotgun. She loves global warming and eating wood chips and mulch for breakfast. Holding up the rear end with the tunes is my daughter, Debra Junior. Parentheses, Taylor's version. A 34-year-old teenager / quote-unquote influencer who refuses to get a real fucking job. Since her daddy stopped paying child support, we lost the house, so it's just the 3 of us and Big Hoss versus the world. You see, my mama always said I'd never make it out of Miller Grove, but we sure showed her. This time our travels took us all the way to the 2nd greatest country in North America, Old Mexico. Moving an entire construction site from Yuma to Mexicali with no escort may not be the sexiest ride in the trucking game, but somebody has to do it. La Migra wasn't so kind to me when I got to the border, but where city slickers give up, country girls make do. Driving by, I could hear people shouting, "Pinche puta," out their cars as I passed them up. I think that's Spanish for great job, but my Google Translate ain't working today. I just wish Debra Junior would quit her whining and learn the tricks of the trade from her mama bear, but these entitled millennials refuse to grow up and stop being cringe. That girl needs to be a bit more like Bestie. She's so skibbity I almost forget she can't speak English. A true patriot never turns down the opportunity to earn a few pesos, even if it means improvising every now and then. I was voted baddest bitch in the class of 1988 at Miller Grove High School. All the girls wanted to be me. All the boys wanted to be with me. I had gyat for days. After graduation, I drove cross-country in my F-350 nicknamed Lil Hoss and spent a summer working on a mulch farm just outside of Crescent City, California. We slashed and burned pristine redwood forest to finally chop and process into a delicious feast for mulch maxers across America. That's when I met the original Rizzler, Lenor Wojak.
Hey, baby girl, that truck is hella nice. What's your name?
I'm Debra. What the hell do you want, nerd?
Slow down, Debra. I'm just trying to make friends. I'm new in town.
You ain't making no friends in that goofy-ass Toyota, buddy.
But it's more fuel efficient. I can drive faster and further using less gas.
Exactly. That car is un-American. You're putting our hardworking oilman out of a job. You look like an idiot. Get rid of it, and maybe you'll have a chance.
So there's a chance. Damn beautiful, you drive a hard bargain.
He claimed he was from Hollywood, but I later found out he was from somewhere outside of Bakersfield. Even if he drove a Toyota, somehow that only made me more attracted to him. They didn't make guys like this back in Ohio.
Debra, one of these days, this entire forest will be a 48-lane expressway complete with a Burger King, Denny's, and Walmart. I'll do it all for you, baby.
Our job was to drive together to find the tallest, oldest redwoods possible and pump them full of microplastics. Aaron would endlessly complain about how the roads out here didn't have enough lanes and blab on about some dweeb named Robert Moses. But as long as we got the job done, I could care less.
Debra, just you wait. We'll leave this town together and bring true automotive freedom to the masses.
What the hell are you yapping about, dweeb? We've got mulch to haul. He was my Roman Empire. I was his skibidi toilet. Together, we made a whole chamoy pickle kit. He was the only man I ever let read my shadow work journal. I could tell he'd been looks-maxing the night before because he had that Giga Chad energy to complement my dark, feminine, lana-coated, coquette aesthetic. No other boy ever made me feel so beautiful.
Hey, baby girl, did you miss me? How do you like my new whip?
Aaron, what the fuck is that thing? It looks like Darth Vader and a Chevy Suburban had a baby.
Debra, open your mind. I got it special just for you. It only gets 8 miles to the gallon.
How he was able to get a 2021 Cadillac Escalade in 1988 was beyond me. But he just said some nonsense about his mods being broken, so he couldn't get any cool 80s cars to load. I'd never heard a man speak with more Rizz than Lenor Wojak. I wanted him, biblically. Debra Junior was conceived in the bathroom of the Flying J in West Wendover, Nevada. I uprooted my entire life back in Miller Grove, and we started over in a brand new city.
Debra, you've got to see Salt Lake. You'll love it. Its powerful grids and wide highways are the stuff of legend.
This is not the place, Aaron.
But Debra, the prophet Robert Moses has given me a vision. I must start my company here and bring the gospel of lanes to the people of the Holy Land.
It was always about his career, his car, his lanes, never about my needs. When does Debra get to pursue her passions? These men are all the same, selfish jerks. I'm a Sigma workaholic trucker-pilled femcel boss bitch. Don't mess with me or you'll never see another Gyat again. I first fell in love with truckin' while picking up Walmart brand mulch to feed the hungry workers of me and my ex-husband's construction company, Wojak and Associates. Our first project was to build a microplastic factory in downtown Boise. We hired Jan Fickmullen, a civil engineering student at Boise State University who had immigrated from Dusseldorf, Germany. Jan loved all things America, cars, rock and roll, and most of all, good old-fashioned American football. We didn't really have a word for what exactly Jan was in the early 90s, but man, woman, or something else entirely. I could care less what was in Jan's pants as long as the job got done. Aaron took a liking to Jan, and the two were inseparable.
America is so beautiful. My European mind cannot comprehend the majesty of it all. From Bass Pro Shops to the Katy Freeway, nothing back home can compete.
America is your home now, my beloved Jan.
Oh, Aaron, you've got more W-Rizz than anyone in Dusseldorf.
Jan, you are by far the most handsome European I have ever met. Stick with me, and together we will turn this entire city into a 98-lane Freedom Interstate.
Aaron, I love your AmeriCorps lane-pilled aesthetic so fucking much. With your help, my Mercedes now gets 2 kilometers to the liter.
What the hell is a kilometer, Jan? You've got a lot to learn, but you'll get there, my darling.
I always thought their friendship was a little sussy. This cringe lord shows up from Europe, of all places, and starts rizzing up my man. Unacceptable. But like a good trucker, I kept my mouth shut and my eye on the road. And if you kick every Tesla-driving liberal out of San Francisco, then who's going to be there for us to crash into, Debra Junior?
Oh, you can't say that. That's not...
In the sense that, what is life without a few obstacles? You see, kids these days, they just don't know the value of a hard day at the office. My baby girl kept whining and crying about wanting a Stanley Cup and trying to steal the aux cable, yapping on about how she stands new jeans. Meanwhile, I'm trying to haul these trucks to the car-brained oil maxers down in Fresno.
Mama Bear! I'm sick of these boring places you always take me to. When do we go to Korea? I want to meet Danielle already.
Debra Junior, that music ain't it. It's brain rot, plain and simple.
But Mama Bear, I want to go to Seoul, now!
This child wouldn't stop demanding I take her, so I let Bestie finish hauling this load on her own and brought Lil Hoss out of retirement. I hadn't seen him in 20 years when I found him on Fresno Craigslist. They gave him a new paint job, but he drove smooth as ever. It took us 3 days to get to Seoul, but Debra Junior was ungrateful the whole time.
When do we meet Danielle? It's boring just driving in circles.
Quit your yapping, child. We drove over an entire damn ocean to get here. I'm taking you to see the hometown of real K-pop the way it was meant to be sung. Crossing the DMZ wasn't easy, but my old girlfriend from the mulch farm put in a good word for me. Lee Hwa-young. These days, a traffic cop in Pyongyang, but in the late 80s, nobody maxed mulch like my girl Hwa-young. Unlike these swift-cucked Gen Z iPad cells, her taste in music isn't corrupted by TikTok influencers. She agreed to take care of Debra Junior while I got back to doing what I do best. Roll coal and smash my Jake brake. Kids these days need strong role models and a good Protestant work ethic. I'll be back for her, though, eventually.